Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story is heartbreaking to me for a lot of reasons. And I look at this picture, first of all, that's a beautiful, beautiful young girl. And I'm going to tell you, she reminds me a lot of my daughter. And some of you guys might not think that I'm actually that old, but I actually have a daughter almost her same age. Let me back this picture up because I don't want to show his face just yet. So let me back it up just a hair. And this story is difficult to talk about because it's something I've been talking to the AFC for 4 years about now. One of our famous hashtags is hashtag mom's boyfriend, hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. And I've been trying to encourage women and mothers who date that have children that live in the household to caution who you have your children around for a multitude of reasons. And I'm going to tell you guys, this story is going to have some details that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. And probably my comments are probably going to bother you as well. But that is your disclaimer if you need to exit the video. So this might not be for y'all, but this is for everybody else who wants to hear this story. This girl lost her life. And when I read the story, I almost immediately knew what happened. That's how damn sad this is. Pictures can tell a lot. And they can tell a whole lot. And let me show you guys something. Because I think the AFC, y'all know. So let me show you guys something real quick before I even tell the story. I want you guys to take a look at this picture. Look at the picture on the left of that girl. And I want you to take a look at the picture on the right because that's mom's boyfriend. These two dynamics, beautiful young girl, mom's stranger boyfriend. I call him a stranger as far as DNA tie. Hopefully everybody gets that. I don't know why I have to break things down like that. Do you guys see where I'm getting ready to go with this? Mom's beautiful young daughter who probably looks like her mom, but a much younger version of her mom. And let me give a shout out to Tommy because Tommy has talked about that. I've listened to him talk about this for many years. Essentially, these young girls end up looking like much better versions of their mothers, a lot younger versions of their mothers. So if these strange men are attracted to their mothers, what might they also be attracted to? Do y'all see where I'm going with this? Are y'all ready to hear this story? Texas takes the L, by the way. I can actually do a full L now. Texas takes the L. Let's go. A Texas man is being held on a $2 million bond after allegedly shooting and killing his girlfriend's 16-year-old daughter, according to authorities. That fool, that idiot, mom's boyfriend, his name is V-A-N, Henry Brisbon, B-R-I-S-B-O-N. He is 60 years old. He is 60 years old, and he looks every bit of 60 years old. And he is out of Humboldt, Texas, and he was arrested and charged with murder in connection with the death of a high school student by the name of Lauren Juma, mom's daughter. And let me say I'm getting this from people.com, so thank you for the article. Sometimes I forget to say that. People.com is where this article is coming from. Early Friday morning, just after 1 a.m., a young woman called 911 and said that her mother's boyfriend was holding her 16-year-old sister captive at gunpoint inside their home, Gonzalez said in a statement, and that is Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. You guys have seen him, videos of him on my channel a lot. Lauren's mother was out of town for work when the teen reached out to her and begged her to save her. Lauren's mother was out of town for work when the teen reached out to her, begging her to save her. Lauren's mother was out of town for work when the teen reached out to her, begging her to save her. No, you are not hearing a glitch. I repeated that 3 times because everything with that sentence shows you everything that's wrong with this entire story. So mom left her daughter in the babysitter's care. No, not the babysitter. Left this child in the biological father's care. No. Okay. She left her daughter in the care of grandmother, grandfather. No, didn't do that either. Okay. She left her daughter in the care of her boyfriend. So here's what you would have to ask. Why is it just because a mother is in a relationship with a man that makes that man qualified to be a father figure, a caretaker of a child? Asking a very valid question. We have thousands of videos just on this channel alone among all the stories that we haven't even talked about. What qualifies this fool, this man, mom's boyfriend, to be the babysitter, essentially? Because it's not his child. He has no DNA tie. Why would he care about this child as if it were his child? Because it's not. If you ask me, nothing qualifies that. You have to show that in your actions, show it in your background, show it in your history, show it with your own kids. And most of the time when you do some digging on a person, maybe do a background check, you find out a lot of things. And maybe that it makes me wonder, maybe that's why a lot of these women, it's not all, it's not the ones in the chat, it's not the people in the comment section, but there are a lot of mothers out there that absolutely refuse to do background checks on the dudes that they are taking pipe from. She said, my baby called me, FaceTime me, and she said, Mom, help me. Her mother, Lori Young, told the news. That's the last time I heard her voice. Jesus. She just wanted to get away, and that's all she wanted. Lauren's sister, Karika Harmon, told the news. She just said she was really, he was, oh, excuse me, let me read this correctly, because it's in the title. She just said he was being really weird and wanted me to pick her up. That's what she said about mom's boyfriend. He was being really weird and she needed to be picked up. Deputies who arrived on the scene heard gunshots as they got to the front door. And I'm sure that's got to be terrifying to them. Brixton, mom's boyfriend, exited the front door and was taken into custody, but was not cooperative with investigators. Inside, they found Lauren dead from gunshot wounds, he said. Lauren and Brisbane were the only 2 individuals inside the residence at the time of the murder. Let me say that part again. Super important. Hope you guys are taking notes. Lauren and Brisbane were the only 2 people in the residence at the time of this murder. That's a big ass red flag to me, in my opinion. It's a huge red flag. A motive for the murder is unknown at the time, but that's why DJ Just J is here, because I'm actually going to give you guys the motive. Do y'all want me to tell y'all what happened? Because some people, I've actually watched people post comments early on when I was looking on Facebook, and people tend to say, well, maybe she was misbehaving and he was trying to punish her and things got out of hand. There's a lot of scenarios that you could potentially point to, except for one thing, and as a father, it's the thing that I caught that come to find out, I think it's going to be proven true in court. But let me read the rest of this, and then I'll give you what the motive is. Brixton's first appearance in court Monday morning, the judge and others heard disturbing details of the Nimitz High School cheerleaders' last moments, according to ABC 13 reports. Investigators asked for a sexual assault test to be performed on Lauren. Why would they need a sexual assault test? Why would they need that? Based on the evidence found at the scene, investigators believed that she was raped before she was killed. Mom's boyfriend. Deputies found Lauren with her pants down to her knees. Jesus. Jesus. With multiple gunshot wounds, according to court records. Not my words. That's according to Click to Houston reports. Get mad at them if you feel like I'm putting out false information. Britzman's pants were also down when deputies arrested him, according to court records. On Monday, the judge raised his bond to $2 million, so they increased the bond from $1 million on a probable cause court judge set for him over the weekend after his arrest. It's unclear whether he has an attorney who can speak on his behalf. As police continue to investigate, Lauren's family and friends are mourning the loss of the upbeat teen. My daughter was a very wonderful, loving, caring person, the girl's father, Sajjad Juma, said, according to Fox 26. She loved everybody and everybody loved her. Lauren's mother had been in a relationship with Britzman for 5 years. And the mother says that she's shocked that he allegedly killed her daughter. Boy, mama is living in the clouds. She said that she's shocked by this. He treated Lauren like she was his baby, according to her. I don't understand. He can rot in jail. He has no reason to take my baby's life. Now, there was a GoFundMe that was set up to help defray funeral costs. Now, I'm not going to be inflammatory about the GoFundMe because some people just don't understand where I'm coming from. I think we should all have life insurance, and we continue to neglect life insurance, but this is the type of thing that life insurance will cover, whether it's a natural death or an unnatural death. This was an unnatural death. But let me show you guys the GoFundMe page here real quick. So let me show you guys this, and then I'll give you guys a little bit more about my theory. They're asking for $15,000, and of course this story really hit the fan for a lot of people, and they were able to raise $20,766. So it's under funeral expenses. It's probably hard to find that way, but Lori Young is the organizer, as you guys can see right here if you want to look that up. Lori Young is the organizer on that GoFundMe. So let me get this off my screen, and let me tell you guys this. First and foremost, I believe, in my humble opinion, no pun intended, humble Texas, y'all take the L too, but mom is naive, very naive, to think that she can be in a relationship with this man. I'm assuming that the mom, with him being 60, I'm assuming he's probably about 20 years older than her. Mom is over the hill. Mom is probably closer to about 40 years old, right? Mom is going to not be as tight in the midsection, in the legs, in the arms, maybe even in the face. Mom might have a few wrinkles. I'm not making fun of the mom. What I'm doing is trying to paint a contrast between a mother and a child. In this pervert's eyes, he might look at it and say initially he was attracted to the mother. And then he realized after 5 years of being around this woman, oh, dang, your daughter looks not only just like you, but she actually looks better than you. She's young. She's untainted. She's fresh. And he got hella curious. Brace yourselves for this one. If you ask me, and the reason why I say the mom is naive, I don't think this is the first time that the mom has ever left her daughter in the custody of him by himself. I think this has probably been an ongoing thing. What does the mom do for a living? Does she have a real good job? Because it looks like they live in a really good neighborhood. So I'm assuming that the mom probably works a lot. What does he do for a living? We don't know. They haven't said anything as far as like what his career path is. It seems like, I could be wrong, but it seems like he was living in her house. It seems like this fool had a lot of free time on his hands. There's some other details in this story that I don't really want to repeat right now, but I'm telling you guys, this is definitely not the first time and only time he's ever done this. I can almost guarantee you this man has been curious. Thank you. Somebody in the chat said it. It's been an ongoing thing. I believe it. I think he's been doing this. I think he finally got caught up in this situation, molesting this child, assaulting this child, and he felt like he was about to get told on when she FaceTimed her mom and said, "Hey, I need you to come get me." He's like, "It's over. I'm busted." And maybe if I end her life, maybe they won't find out what ultimately led up to this, and then I can write the narrative. Because dead people can't tell stories, right? So he assumed that if she's dead, then maybe she can't tell what's been going on with this man for the past 5 years up until this point. Being a molester, being a chester, being a pedo, being a heberophile, thank you. It's not something you just wake up and do. You don't wake up and just be a nasty ass son of a bitch. That's who you are. This is who the mother brought around her kids. These are not his kids. I continue to say, because I don't know any better way to say this, that these mothers continue to put their personal desires over protecting their children. I'm going to tell you guys this, and this is probably going to sound really messed up. This dude's eyeballs are looking in this direction and this direction. If you look at that picture right there, two different directions. And I personally believe that if your eyes go like this and go like that at the same time, and if you have jaundiced eyes, you shouldn't probably be around kids or shouldn't be a babysitter. I don't think people that have jaundiced eyes should be babysitting kids. Matter of fact, as old as this girl is, there's no reason he should have ever been left at home alone with her. Makes me wonder what the biological father had to say about this. I don't know if the mother has ever said anything, but there was no reason why, if she has to go out of town for work, tell the dad to come pick up his daughter. Every time. I would have never left my baby around no grown-ass man. Let me give you guys the fair usage. I'm going to mess around and get flagged tonight. Let's go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Man, I continue to pray for my daughter's mom, and I pray for all women out there that if you do date, please put your children first. Don't put your children around your boyfriends. It's not worth it, and I would hate to be the father in this scenario. I can't promise you what I would have did if I would have been able to get my hands on him if I were the dad.
First tonight at 9, a 60-year-old man in Humble is facing a murder charge, accused of shooting and killing his girlfriend's 16-year-old daughter.
We spoke with the father and stepmom tonight as they are now forced to say goodbye. Our Tiffany Justice joining us live with this story. Tiffany.
Right, the family still trying to wrap their heads around the fact that she was killed and how she was so brutally taken away.
My daughter was a very wonderful, caring person. She was very friendly, nice, and she had her friends. Everybody loved her.
A teen's life violently taken away by someone family says she trusted. This once quiet, humble neighborhood still in shock by a shooting that took the life of 16-year-old Lauren Uma, a student at Nimitz High School.
He does not need to be let go or set free because that a monster like that would kill an innocent little girl that he was in her life, that she trusted for years.
This man is now in custody facing a murder charge, the victim's mother's boyfriend. The suspect, 6-year-old Van Brisbane, came out of the house according to police, telling them to do what they had to do. Police say the teen was on the phone with her mother just before the shooting. We're told Lauren's older sister was the one who called 911 this morning, telling them that Lauren was being held at gunpoint by her mother's boyfriend. The mother out of town for work, arriving back home to her daughter dead.
Death is too good for him. When he walked outside and said do what you gotta do, he was looking for death. It is too good for him. He needs to rot in prison.
Police say as deputies were arriving to the home, they heard the gunshots as they were approaching the front door. Neighbors speaking with Fox 26 saying they're rattled by the death, saying it's going to forever change the neighborhood.
This was a good neighborhood, quiet. We don't have crime. So now when you look us up, the only crime you have is a murder, and it's a child.
She was like, Dad, I'm going to give me a job, and that's what she did, and I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to get my own car. That's what she recently just did.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys agree with my sentiments as far as when I say we need to be, as our women that have children, they need to be careful about what boyfriends you have, let alone having boyfriends around your kids, let alone having boyfriends in the home? Does anybody feel like I'm wrong? If you do agree with what I've been saying this whole time, I've been saying this for years, please hit that thumbs up and share this video. Hit that thumbs up. We want to have one thumb up for everybody that's watching right now. If y'all believe that this man had been molesting and having unlawful sex with this girl against her will, y'all know what that word is. I can't say that word, but y'all can type it in the chat, but y'all know what word I'm talking about. He's been doing this probably for a long time. If y'all believe that, hit that thumbs up. Tell me in the chat, because that's what I believe. Let's keep going.
Bond is now increased to $2 million for the man accused of killing his girlfriend's 16-year-old daughter Friday. Van Brisbane is charged in the death of Nimitz High School sophomore Lauren Juma. And tonight, we're learning more disturbing details about the crime following Brisbane's court appearance today. Aniele Ruiz is here to walk us through what happened. Aniele, we understand there could even be some changes to his charges.
That's right. It all depends on the evidence that investigators gather. But we do know that so far, as of today, his bond was increased from $1 million to $2 million. It was an emotional hearing for family members of 16-year-old Lauren Juma and also for family members of her alleged killer. Monday morning was 60-year-old Van Brisbane's first court appearance after he was charged with murdering Lauren.
I love my uncle to death. I swear I do, but I will never be able to understand how he did something like this to Lauren.
That was Brisbane's niece. She was wailing inside the courtroom during his hearing, and a bailiff had to ask her to step outside. But the details of this case were very graphic to hear. Prosecutors said on Friday Juma was found dead with her clothes in disarray. They go on to say that Brisbane was seen pulling up and adjusting his pants while coming out of their home after 2 shots were heard. Investigators say Lauren was on the phone with her mom and her sister prior to her death and said she woke up to Brisbane standing in the dark room acting weird. Prosecutors asking for a higher bond amount.
Asked for $2 million. And the judge granted that? Judge granted it.
One thing his family made very clear, even though they're his blood relatives, they're supporting Lauren and her family.
People have to be accountable for their actions. If we don't hold people accountable for the things that they do wrong, then people will continue to do wrong.
His niece had this shirt made that says, "Here for Lauren," and she doesn't know how this could have happened.
How he can take her life from her, I can never understand it.
God, I feel so bad for her, man. That's the assaulter's niece on his side of the family. I think that speaks volumes about the fact that people are waking up and just standing up for what's right, rather than standing up and just saying, because this person has a DNA tie to me, I'm going to support them no matter what they did. I'm glad that she's standing on the side of this child. It could have been her when she was a kid. It happens to boys. Believe it or not, it happens to boys a lot more than you might know. So I'm glad to see that, but that breaks my heart to see that. I'm gonna show you guys this last news video before I give you my closing thoughts. Then we got a couple more to talk about.
Time now 5:03. Now to a story out of Humble we first brought to you as breaking news.
The man accused of shooting and killing his girlfriend's 16-year-old daughter is set to appear before a judge. Meanwhile, on Friday, friends and family came together to remember 16-year-old Lauren Juma. She was a sophomore at Nimitz High School, where her family says she had just joined the cheer squad.
Our Ugochi Iloka has been following this case, and she is live this morning outside of the courthouse. Ugochi, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kimberly and Dave. In just a few hours, the man accused of killing his girlfriend's daughter, a 16-year-old, at Nimitz High School, she was a sophomore, will face a judge. This morning, we're also hearing from the mother that she was with this man for 5 years and never expected anything like this to happen. He's being held on a $1 million bond at the Harris County Jail, and we're learning more new disturbing details about what happened Friday morning when 16-year-old Lauren Juma was shot and killed.
Yeah, I just skipped past the balloons because apparently people just aren't going to hear me about the balloon argument. So I just try not to even say nothing about it now. But I did catch that. They're still doing balloon releases. I think it'd be better for the environment, better for animals, better for trash and stuff like that, that we need to do more candlelit vigils. 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 More candlelit vigils.
60-year-old Van Brisbane is charged in her murder, and over the weekend prosecutors told a probable cause court judge that police found her with her pants down. Investigators say when Brisbane walked out of the home in Humble where she was killed, they saw him pulling up his pants. Now, Lauren's mom and sister, who weren't home at the time, claim they both spoke to her on the phone before her murder.
I actually have somebody in the chat who posted this, and you guys can actually fact check it, but it sounds believable. And somebody in the chat said 1 in 7 boys and 1 in 5 girls are molested before the age of 18. To be honest, that sounds about right. But you guys can look that up, fact check it, do your own research. But think about how heavy that is. 1 in 7 boys and 1 in 5 girls. That happens very often. Hashtag see something, say something, man. If you see something that doesn't look right, man, we gotta start standing up for these kids.
I just know my baby called me on the phone, FaceTime me.
Apparently that's the biological mother. I didn't even know that she was on this video, but I think that's the biological mom.
And she said, "Mom, help me." And by that time, he hung her phone up. And that's the last time I heard her voice. I just know my baby called me on the phone, FaceTime me. And she said, "Mom, help me." And by that time, he hung her phone up. And that's the last time I heard her voice. I was there for about 3 minutes before I heard 2 gunshots go off. And I could just remember running up to the house and the officers telling me to go back to my car.
Yeah, what a devastating time for this family. If you'd like to help the family with funeral expenses for Lauren, a GoFundMe link is available on KHU.com. And Steph will be following what's next in this case when Brisbane has his court hearing around 9 a.m. this morning.
First and foremost, they definitely need to bring out a kit. Like if somebody has been sexually assaulted, you know, that word that we call it that we can't say on YouTube anymore. They need to give one of those kits to find out if that girl was actually sexually contacted by this man, because I believe that she was. I believe that it's been going on. I believe that this man has been taking advantage of her. This young girl being left by the mom. And ask yourself, I don't know if they're married. I don't think that they are. So, and I actually had to correct some people about this before when I said mom's baby daddy, and they was like, that's not just mom's baby. That's not. I'm like, yes, it is. If they're not married, that would make that mom's boyfriend. That is correct. He's not a stepfather. He's not a father at all. He is a sick, nasty individual. For these moms not wanting to be lonely and just leave their kids around anybody, you should leave your kids around anybody. You can't just trust. I trusted him. I trusted him. Trust is nothing but a word. Think about that for a moment. Trust is nothing but a word. The only portion that's important about that word is the actions that follow behind it. What did this man show in his actions for 5 years? I can almost guarantee you that there were yellow flags and red flags, and that girl was probably scared for her life the entire time to step up and say something to anybody. Because look at what happened the second that she went and tried to tell her mom, get me out of here. Look at what happened. He shot her and killed her. A child should not have to defend themselves against mom's boyfriend. That child should never be put in a position to have to deal with mom's boyfriend. What I'm saying is I'm putting the onus on the parents between biological mother, biological father. They've got to figure this out. Not trust that the person that you are having sex with is going to be a good person and do the right thing. And no, I'm not going to just trust you unless you have a long history proving your trust, proving your fatherhood, proving your willingness to do the right things. And I can almost guarantee you that he doesn't have a long track history of that. This is why so many of these girls run away from home, because the moms will, like I hate to say that, but too many cases and too many times we've seen where the moms will choose the boyfriends, won't get rid of the boyfriends, won't listen to the kids' stories, ignore it, make it seem like the kids aren't credible. There was no reason for this man to ever be around this kid. And I'm telling you, the second that I saw this story and I saw his face and I saw this girl, and the first thing I said was, he took her innocence. He took her sexual innocence. That's the first thing I thought as a father. First thing that went through my head. And it looks like I was right. So people can talk about how I'm wrong for assuming, wrong for drawing conclusions, but show me when I'm wrong. Show me when I'm factually inaccurate. Not just, oh, I don't like what you said, it hurt my feelings, and the mom is going through some stuff and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Just tell me when I've said something that's factually inaccurate, we can change it, we can update it, we can talk about it. But until then, I think the thing that needs to change is not my words, but the actions that are occurring. I'm going to continue to show you guys these stories until the actions of these parents and these caretakers change. We have to step up and do better by our children. I don't think there was enough support for young Lauren. She didn't have an advocate in this situation. She didn't have any protection. That's a sad way to go out. And I'm sure she was terrified as she should have been. But to that man, I think that they definitely should put that assault kit, since I can't say the word, and do that check, upgrade these charges, life in prison, give him double life in prison, whatever. But that man never needs to see the light of day on planet Earth ever again. There's a special place in hell for people who take advantage of our children. To young Lauren, young princess. Let me see if I can get a single shot picture of her. Young princess. R.I.P. I continue to deliver these stories, hoping us as mothers and fathers will do better by our children and protect them. I'm a father of a little girl about her age. My daughter's age is just behind hers, so that's why this truly, truly terrifies me. But thank you guys so much. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you guys think, okay? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, some of y'all might be surprised, some of you might not be, about what these parents are accused of doing to this beautiful baby that you guys see on my screen. Jamari Mendez is the name of this beautiful baby that you guys see on my screen right here. And Jamari's parents, by the name of Ricardo Mendez, who's 27 years old, right there. And the mother, Antonita Miller. Let me see if I can get her picture up here. I think I have a solo shot of her. Let me see. Right here. Antonita Miller is 24 years old. And both of them have been charged with torture, assault of a child, and murder. So let me say this before I get to saying some inflammatory things, because I almost did, but I caught myself. But this story is going to have some details that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities, as well as my personal opinions. But that is your disclaimer if you need to exit the video if you're triggered really easily. Here's the inflammatory part. That's the dad and that's the mom with her belly hanging out. Why they got this woman with her belly hanging out over her panties that's hanging out over her pants like that? Why is she built like that at 24 years old? Mother or no mother? She's 24. There's no reason for her to have a belly that's sticking out that far at 24 years of age. You're going to lose that metabolism the older you get. It is going to get worse if you don't check it from the jump. But just throwing it out there. I'm getting this story from thesun.com, so thank you for the article. But this couple out of Barstow, California. How many stories have we done out of California? They were arrested by cops on Tuesday. The day before, Jamari's aunt, Leslie Mendez, said that the pair had shown up to a family function at 7 p.m. in nearby Pomona, California, with their two other children. Let me say that again. The mom and the dad showed up to a family function with 2 out of 3 of their children. Family function. Function for family. I'm bringing 2 out of my 3 children. If you ask me, that's not even a yellow flag. That would have been an immediate red flag for me that something is wrong if I'm one of the family members. But they tried to give a story as far as like, why is one of the children missing? They tried to say that the child was with another family member or something like that. But they chillingly claimed that Jamari was with Miller's mother while the 1-year-old toddler was still in the couple's car bundled up under a blanket. Tried to say he was with the grandmother. Leslie told KABC TV they both walked inside the house like nothing happened. I want y'all to think about that for a moment, because I think that should actually make their charges even higher, because they clearly didn't give a crap. She added, everybody is devastated. We didn't expect our own blood to do this to his own son. Leslie said that Ricardo allegedly eventually confessed to his family that Jamari was dead and that his body was in the back of their car. How many stories have I posted on my channel where deranged individuals drive around with dead children in the car? How many stories have I done? Can anybody give me a number? I'd probably say 10, maybe 10 stories. One of the worst ones I ever heard was out of Baltimore. We talked about that a number of different times. Where that mother rode around with either a dead child or dead children. I don't remember how many it was. For like, I think it was like weeks or months or something like that. It was for a while. Where the smell was so bad, it was unmistakable death. But nonetheless, the devastated aunt said that she immediately hurried to get her nephew out of the vehicle. Everybody runs, and he was covered in blankets. That's when my two older brothers helped my sister-in-law take the baby out, Leslie said. She said that the boy's parents stayed behind while she and her sister-in-law rushed the toddler to the hospital. The parents stayed behind while family members took the toddler to the hospital. Despite desperate efforts to revive him, Jamari was tragically pronounced dead by doctors. Barstow Police Department launched an investigation into the boy's death after noting his injuries were consistent with ongoing abuse. The police said that little Jamari's body was covered. I want to make sure, because you can actually see a scratch on his face right there in that picture. You can actually, matter of fact, I don't know if y'all can see that or not. From that picture right there, on the right hand side, he's got bruising on the side of his face. These are things that the family might have missed. They might have missed this. Scratches, bruises are usually telltale signs of abuse, especially with babies. But they said he was covered in lesions, bruising, and burn marks. Some of the injuries appear to be in different stages of the healing process. So that means this has been going on pretty much his entire life. During a search of the couple's house and car, police said that they found evidence of items used in Jamari's alleged horrific abuse, including a torch lighter. They used a torch lighter on this baby. It is understood that Jamari died at home in Barstow before the parents drove to see their family in Pomona. This is just insane. But they're due to appear in court on Wednesday, and a GoFundMe campaign is set up by Leslie to raise money for Jamari's funeral. And they have raised nearly $6,000 so far. And I think I have a picture of that GoFundMe. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yes. Want to make sure that you guys get an opportunity to see the GoFundMe. They were asking for $15,000. They have raised $9,280 at the time that I pulled this up. So if you want to look that up, you're able to find it. You guys know how I feel about GoFundMe accounts. I think that first of all, we should all have life insurance. That's first and foremost. Every human being should have life insurance. I know unfortunate things happen, and I know a lot of people resort to GoFundMe, and I'm thankful that there are people who are able to give and help these people through these processes when it comes to these GoFundMes whenever they have a death in the family like this. But I don't think we should rely on hoping that people will help us take care of these expenses like that, okay? But nonetheless, they were able to collect at least that much so far. But let me give you guys the fair usage. And no, I don't think that these parents ever loved these kids. They never loved any of these kids. It's a scary story. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys are watching this story, if y'all would, for Jamari, please click that thumbs up and share his story. Don't let this thing go in vain. Okay, we want to make sure and get justice. We want to make sure that he has an opportunity to have his story heard because his life mattered, okay? Here we go. Let's get it.
Family of 1-year-old Jamari Mendez still...
Let me apologize to you guys' eardrums. My bad. Hold on.
Don't know how he died, only that his parents are allegedly involved.
Everybody's devastated. Like, we didn't expect our own blood to do this to him.
Sorry about that volume. I'm going to try to adjust it for you guys. My bad. Sorry about that.
His own son.
Mendez's brother, 27-year-old Ricardo Mendez, and his girlfriend, 24-year-old Antonita Miller, are accused of murdering the toddler. She says when the couple first arrived at the family's Pomona home with their 2 other children, they said their youngest was with Miller's mother.
So they both walked inside like nothing happened.
Mendez's brother eventually told their mother Jamari had died and revealed to the family he was still in the couple's car under a blanket.
Everybody runs. And he was covered in blankets, and that's when my sister-in-law and my other 2 brothers helped her take the baby out.
She says she and her sister-in-law jumped into a car and drove to the hospital.
I had to carry him in my arms, dead.
Despite efforts to revive the boy, he was pronounced dead. Detectives say the child's body was covered in burn marks, bruises in various stages of healing, and other lesions. Abuse, they say, that led to his death. Investigators arrested both Mendez's brother and Miller when they came to the hospital.
When they arrested her, she moved to my sister and smiled.
Both families left reeling over the loss of the small boy with the smiling eyes and infectious laugh. Mendez says prior to his death, their family last saw Jamari in March. The family is now planning for his funeral. They've set up a GoFundMe page for expenses.
All I want is justice for my nephew.
Both Mendez and Miller are due at this Victorville courthouse on May 5th, where they'll be facing charges of murder, assault on a child resulting in death, and torture.
All right, let me go ahead and go to our next video. Might have to do some volume adjustments because these volumes are really off for some reason.
Arrested for allegedly killing their infant son, 27-year-old Ricardo Mendez and Antonita Miller were arrested after their 1-year-old son was brought to Pomona Valley Hospital. He was pronounced dead upon arrival. Police were called after the injuries were determined to be the result of abuse. Detectives say the boy died before the couple drove to the Mendez family home in Pomona, and a family member brought the baby to the hospital.
I don't know how there weren't warning signs way before they got to this point. The fact that they were able to torture this child, murder this child, kill him, throw him in a trunk, throw blankets on top of him, take their other 2 kids, drive over to a family event, come up with a cockamamie ass story about where this baby boy was, then the dad turns around and tells them where the boy actually is in the trunk, and then they stay in the house while the rest of the family runs out there to the trunk, takes the kid to the hospital, and these two idiots just stay there. Everything about this, in my opinion, says not only are they deranged individuals, but I can almost imagine what they probably did to these other kids. The other two kids have probably suffered abuse as well. But there had to have been warning signs that these were terrible human beings. The family members had to have known something about these people to know that they are horrible human beings. There were red flags and yellow flags probably all over the damn place. They probably needed to have had child services call to do an interview on them, check their house out, check the kids out. If somebody would have done a welfare check a lot sooner, maybe it would have been possible to save this baby boy. He could not speak for himself, nor could he defend himself against the tyranny of his own mother and father. And I got to tell you, man, that's just sad when you are born into this world and your advocates, the people that are supposed to love and protect you and make sure that you have an opportunity to grow up and become something great, are the ones who fail you and the ones who take advantage of you and ultimately end your life. I see no reason for these people to ever have communication with their other two children ever again. That should be a law, especially when you do stuff like this. Those kids should never have to talk to their parents ever again in this life. They need life in prison, and they don't need to be diagnosed. They don't need anything. Just get rid of them. Terrible people. That baby boy deserved better parents. But let me say this, man. Let me see if I can get his picture back up here real quick. One of my favorite pictures, even though I like that one a lot, my favorite picture of him is the one in green. Look at his smile. Look at that. How can you be mad at a smile like that? That is a welcoming smile. Big, beautiful black eyes. Beautiful baby. My favorite picture is this one right here. His eyes don't even look black there, but whatever. But innocent baby. Jamari Mendez, Young Prince. R.I.P. But we want to make sure that this story is shared. We want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to hear this story. We can all band together by doing something as simple as clicking the thumbs up. Share this story. Post it out on social media links. Make sure that everybody gets a chance to hear his story. We'll make sure and get justice in Barstow, California, okay? We need justice for all of our babies. All right, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? Thank you. That's going to wrap us up. And I want to say shout out to Make This Go Viral TV in the building. Sister, I shouted you out earlier. But since I see you in the chat, let me shout you out again. You guys, make sure and check out Make This Go Viral TV. Sister, make sure and post your channel in the comment section so they can find you a lot easier. They can just click on your channel, sub to you. We want to make sure and continue to spread this love as you've shown me. I've shown you right back. Thank all of you guys. If I miss reading your donations, I will make sure and either comment if I can and the reply. But thank you so much for supporting. Again, y'all keep me in your prayers as well. And thank you. You said wishing for a complete recovery. Thank you, Janine. But my surgery, the major surgery I'm having, will be on Monday. So you guys know, if you don't see me for a little bit, that's where I will be. But keep a prayer hands up for your boy. Monday is a big day for me. So hopefully everything goes well. Y'all keep my doctor in your prayers. And I'll try to get back on here as soon as possible if all goes well. From my heart to yours, I love you all. Thank y'all for representing the AFC, the Advocates for Children. Shout out to my daughter. Shout out to my daughter's mom. Shout out to my mom and dad, family and friends, brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, nieces, nephews, everybody. Love you guys. Have a great day. Peace.
this wonderful organization that I'm proud to be a part of. It's called Bags for Kids, BAGS4KIDS.org. And check out their website. They really help a lot of kids in foster care, giving them a permanent piece of luggage and also a lot of items that they might need so that they feel that they belong, which they do. So go to the website, bags4kids.org. So go for it. It's a great place, and they're doing great work.
Exclusive new products that you will only see on my website at www.sayitwithchess.com. These products are made special by my mother, Keyline Designs. The hoodie blankie, the face mask, as well as the 4-in-1 African head wrap. Now the way it works, it is a reversible bonnet. It has a headband that you can wear alone. It has a matching face mask as well. Please be sure to go over to our website and check out these nice new products that you will not find anywhere else.
What's going on, guys? This is your boy, DJ Just J with Just Down TNT, and I am your humble host of the AFC podcast. And people ask me all the time, what is the AFC podcast? This is a platform for us to have open and candid conversations about children who are being taken advantage of by people who are in charge of protecting them. So sometimes we discuss the latest things going on in the news, but we advocate for children first. I get so many emails and comments from people that love what I do, and I want to continue to keep bringing content that matters to YouTube. And I would like to thank you in advance for your consideration to contributing to my platform. You can help support this channel by way of the links that are in the description box of each and every video. And also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. I would like to thank you again and welcome to the AFC podcast, where we advocate for children first. We'll see you guys on the next stream. Peace.